Joined by Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani, Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament, who was one of the litigants here, and he's there with us. Let's go straight across to him. Mr. Jethmalani, thank you for speaking to Times Now, to me this evening. And I want to begin by asking you, while today you can claim vindication because your government is intact, but your opponent, Uddhav Thackeray, you might have heard him just a short while back, he says that you've lost the moral battle. How do you react to this?
Well, the moral battle really is, as you've pointed out. I mean, let's get into the issue of morality. You already pointed out that historically the Shiv Sena under Balasaheb Thackeray, Uddhav's father, would never have any truck with any of these parties, the MV alliance he's now allied with, Uddhav Thackeray. But that's historical. You can, break tradition with your father's ideology. That's a separate issue. Point is, more important, Rahul, there was a pre-poll alliance with the BJP. The seats that Uddhav Thackeray won were courtesy his alliance along with the BJP, and the campaign heavily depended upon the charisma of the Prime Minister, Modi, and also the Chief Minister who headed that alliance, namely Devendra Fadnavis. It was heavily dependent on that. The morality in this case really consists in breaking that pre-poll alliance for the sake of the Chief Minister's chair and aligning with people whom not only your father and historically your party has been rigidly opposed to, but which you yourself have attacked on, including during the very election in which you garnered the 50-odd seats, which broke up. The breakup came up. The breakup by the Eknath Shinde faction came about because of your betrayal of that mandate. It's there in their resolutions. They were uncomfortable with it. The betrayal was not by Eknath Shinde, as you wrongly put it. The betrayal was of your ideology, your party, and your history. And that is why your party has split. There is no other morality. What the Supreme Court has found is illegality, that the actions of the Speaker were contrary to law. For instance, in recognizing Gogamble as the Chief Whip, right? Now, what they said was, you should have undertaken a deeper exercise before coming to that conclusion and finding out what the party and what is the party at that stage on 3rd July is also moot, right? So the Speaker now will have to revisit it. He'll have to revisit the decision to recognize which he took to recognize Gogamble on 3rd July and decide it in the light of the guidelines
if the Speaker,
nothing immoral about it.
No, let me ask you this. If the Speaker continues to play a partisan role, then how do we trust that he will actually execute his task that now, since the ball is back in his court, on taking a call on the disqualification without any partisanship?
But there is a presumption in law of constitutionality actions by constitutional actions by public figures, right? The office of Speaker is an extremely high constitutional post. So we have to presume that he will act constitutionally. If he doesn't, the Supreme Court itself has laid down in what I heard. I've not read the judgment at any length, but what I heard this morning in court, the Supreme Court has said it will be subject to judicial review. So if he doesn't act constitutionally and as per the guidelines laid down today by the Supreme Court, there is a remedy of judicial review. Nobody says, public functionaries day in and day out act unconstitutionally, and the courts by appropriate writs correct their actions. So there's no fear on that.